I'm back at Killip today. This time I'm on my own. Daughter's at school, and I'm going to reshoot this video. I tried to edit the last video, take out my daughter's name, but it was too difficult to edit. So I'm going to try and reshoot it instead. These pictures were created by the miners with the crystals that they found within the mines. Not sure if you can see that one properly. Maybe street scenes with the use of the mirrors and the boxes and the various crystals, mostly quartz and feldspar. This is the sort of room that the miners would sleep in. They would usually sleep 3 or 4 to the bed. So initially they would have prospected for lead in the streams and like panning, like as if you were panning for gold, except they were panning for lead. And then they would build dams and release water in order to take the earth and rocks off, so they could get out the lead. Next stage would have been bell pits. So you just dig in a hole and then you dig around where it was safe. And eventually you get into a level pit where they could have ponies. And they would have shafts at different levels within the level mines. This was more like Victorian age when they started doing this. Here's a collection of the minerals and ores that they found within the mines. This weighs an absolute ton. My daughter couldn't lift that. She couldn't even lift the little one. It was too heavy for her. We get the word fluorescence from the way that feldspar fluorescence in the ultraviolet light. This is the entrance to Park Level Mine, which we'll be going down in a minute. This is the rest of the site. We'll explore that as well. The horses would pull these wagons on the tracks and then dump the ore into these bays. And it was then later sorted through with the use of water. So these contraptions here would have been used to sort out like the smaller bits of ore that had been taken from the mines and what have you. And it would have been very similar to panning for gold. Operates with these levers. Then at a later stage, the water wheel that you can see up there, which we'll have a look at later, that was then used to operate machine operated sorting machines, very similar to those handheld ones. Eventually the slurry that was left over would be put into water tanks like this for settling. And some more up near the wheel as well for the ones that were manufactured, which we'll have a look at later. And then the slurry from the settling tanks would then be processed over here. I'm never sure how you pronounce this. It's either boodles or buddles, B-U-D-D-L-E-S. And then the slurry would be processed here to try and get every single last bit of lead out. This is Killip wheel. It was built in 1877. It does 3 revolutions a minute, and it was built to mechanise the process of sorting out the lead. The water would have come along here and then onto the top of the wheel to turn it. And the wheel would have operated these jigs, which are not in use at the moment. I think I've got some footage of them in use, so I'll try and clip that in. And then these would jig all like the loose stones and what have you, sort out the lead, which got the belt on, and then that turns the wheels up on the top there, you see? And they operate these machines. So at the moment there's only one machine working. Yeah. All the little bits of gravel. Yeah. They put all the gravel in there, and then the machines shake it with water, and then the lead falls to the bottom, you see. And then they get all the lead ore out. See there? You see you got the water there. Then they put like the gravel inside, and then they shake it up so that the gravel and the lead fall differently. The lead's heavier, you see. Now the slurry from the jigs will come down here, and this will be taken into settling tanks, which is then later reassessed for more lead. This is where the slurry would have gone, to where the buddle or boodle place was, which I showed you earlier. And come along here, the slurry into these settling tanks. It was finally sorted in the buddles or the boodles. So we got every single last grain of lead out of the ore. This is the blacksmith shop. All the miners would have to pay for any tools that they used, or any smithing work they required. Would all have to be paid for out of their own wages, not the mine owner's wage. Or not the mine owner's profits.